following is a presentation of the That Feelin' Podcast Network, reminding you to always question the answers.
Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Eat it. Eat the cake. Yeah. Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Well, all right. I bet you thought you stumbled on another podcast. Of course you're right, but let me tell you about the contrast. It's really different, not an exit from the Comcast. We cover anime today and other times past. Listen and learn in that order, then replay. Be entertained by Mac, Jackie, and EJ. Three hoes doing way more than the most, proving you can pay the lion, but it's all in the approach. Originals and sequels, the newbies and the Ichigos. The world's up in flames to the ones more peaceful. The weapons of the Shuto, manga, Naruto, Monkey D. Luffy, and a lot more that you know. Subscribe, hit the like, give the algorithm life once. We trying to get the same pie that Apple took a bite from. Join the conversation, let us know if you can relate. If not, you still might be forced to eat the cake. Anime, hey, hey, eat the cake. Hey, hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime, hey, hey, eat the cake. Hey, hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime.
Well, hello. Shop is open, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. The crew is back after a little hiatus, but we have a great show for you today. First thing we want to talk about is this amazing lineup of shows coming this spring. And if I'm doing the math correct, I would say that's probably because we talked about what the summer was bringing with Gachi Kuta, the fall was bringing, the winter was bringing. Now we're back in the spring. That looks like it's almost a damn full calendar year of actual seasons with shows that are can't miss. And I don't think I'm speaking out of place. Do you guys?
No, a lot of returning great titles returning too. So
Yep.
Yeah, and they've been bringing a lot of all the new animes that they've been bringing online too, and all the different genres that they've been bringing into the anime world and going back into, like when we lost a lot of like the horror and romance, and everything they're bringing back has been just freaking awesome. So it's been a really fun time for anime the past couple of years.
I agree. And with a lot of the kind of linchpins over the last few years coming to an end, obviously, Demon Slayer, the series, has ended, but they're doing the movies now, so you're not getting updates on that weekly on your anime sites. My Hero's gone. Fire Force is wrapping up. A lot of these series are like calling it quits and moving on, and there are a lot of shows that are stepping up and filling those voids very well, if I may add. So excited to talk about that. Also, we'll get into, I don't know if you guys heard, but Netflix has now become the most popular streaming service for anime.
Yep, compared to Crunchyroll.
Compared to Crunchyroll. You know, we'll get
that was crazy. Yeah,
we'll share thoughts on that when we get to our spring anime news section. But yeah, that took me for a loop too. I did not see that coming. So, you know, let's not keep the people waiting. Get right into our spring anime look ahead.
Nice. I like the transition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to
get some paper, and I feel like I need to be like, yes.
This
yes.
just did.
Over to you. I'm ready.
Over to you, Jim. Tell me about the weather.
Jim, while I read my papers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this like we talked about, Crunchyroll becoming second banana to Netflix as far as anime streaming. This is something I did not see happening, but when you look into it, I think it's more because Crunchyroll is more, I guess, for the dedicated anime fans, right? Because they do carry more shows than Netflix, but I think they were leaning towards Netflix being more popular because they usually just carry the more popular ones, right? Like you got your they bring over Dan to Dan. They bring over, all the ones that everybody's talking about: Demon Slayer, My Hero, um, One Piece. All of the things Netflix takes. Like they're not bringing in the kind of more nuanced ones, right? Um, so I think when it comes to that, the numbers were more people have Netflix than Crunchyroll, but now since
Hmm.
Netflix does have those anime titles that a lot of casual people are talking about that kind of cross over into almost pop culture where most people would know something about them, they carry that. So they already have the Netflix account. They just go ahead and watch the anime, and that's what kind of bumps up Netflix numbers. Um, what's your thoughts on that, Jackie?
Yeah, so with the rising popularity that anime has reached, like the level that it has actually reached,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the United States. Oops. I think that now when you have all these people that refuse to get that subscription to Crunchyroll, kind of like what you were saying, and they were on Netflix, and now everything is being moved over there. Plus, like Disney Plus, like shows some stuff, and then people are like, "Oh, okay, I'll go on Netflix and watch this," because I think Netflix's subtitles are better. Um, Now you have all these people watching all these shows that are across other countries too, because Crunchyroll's not always available in other countries, but Netflix is, and Netflix just has different um I think it's licensing or different shows that they'll actually like allowed to have streamed depending on the country, but there's still Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember it. I used to have to have a VPN if I wanted to watch Crunchyroll when I was in Korea. So um I think it's really cool. The only thing that I get nervous about is there's a lot of anime that is on Crunchyroll, and what are they going to allow to be moved over to Netflix? Is this going to cause like a power thing where now they're going to go back and
Mm.
forth? Are people going to lose money? Now is Crunchyroll going to be at risk of going bankrupt because people have been actually complaining about Crunchyroll for a really long time? Those are kind of the things I see in like way future kind of thing, with Netflix kind of coming out. And that just goes into the more things about the different streaming services, and all these different subscriptions that people have to pay. But I think it's cool that Netflix is hopping on it because they used to not really have a big anime following, and now they're creating their own anime, which is really cool. Um, but it does make me wonder what the future of Crunchyroll actually is, especially with how much anime that it does have access to and can stream.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts, EJ?
I agree a lot with Jackie there. The positives and the concerns. There aren't any negatives yet, but I stress that yet because the situation I feel is a lot influenced by economic reasons. And when I think we've all experienced I have 14, 15 subscriptions and I kind of want to cut that back. And Netflix is like, hey, you want to cut that back? We'll carry more of what you guys like. You just keep us around. And then people are dropping off the other stuff. But then I do worry about the concern, like Jackie brought up, like all these outside the most popular genre kind of animes or older animes that people may not have be familiar with are present on Crunchyroll. So if we were to lose Crunchyroll, or if Crunchyroll starts to draw back and have to shore up its bandwidth and so forth to not be able to offer as much or anything along those lines by losing its clientele, to Netflix, then we lose the possibility of the expanded shows. Like when we forecasted shows, we like to pick ones we think that people that are obviously, hey, this is hitting a theme that everybody likes. We also like to bring up stuff that's a little bit outside the standard, and that won't be available because I mean honestly, Netflix is looking for the most popular. They're gonna throw out, hey, we could put out, Demon Slayer, JJK, One Piece, and have that keep rolling. But then you lose the opportunity to pick up things like, you know, would Freyren have gotten that kind of attention from the beginning because it wasn't such a recognized title? Now, of course, they're gonna, it's gonna be out, but maybe that would have been missed. So that's where my concern lies: is that the I don't know, exposure level. when are we gonna when is net because you've seen Netflix, they don't like how something's rolling, boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I don't see them trying to take chances on things because I mean, you got to take chances on things. Fire Force was something that was very different when it was first shown. When it first showed up, people, you had to watch it to go, "Oh crap, this is what it's about." I like this a lot. But if people don't give that shot, Netflix is all about the, "Hey, I gave it 2 weeks." It's like what? And it's gone. So that's my concern is the loss of potential and loss of expanded titles. So but yeah, overall, I mean, I can't complain. Netflix does put out better subtitles, like Jackie had mentioned. They do. They're everywhere, so your shows are going to get exposure. If you're a studio, you can't go against the tide on that. You're not going to go, no, I don't think so. I mean, who's going to back out on Netflix?
Right.
So
yeah, it's
what,
they got
what's
the
your
money
view
to
on it?
throw. Yeah, they got the money to throw at studios for them to agree to the hey, I'll put you on Crunchyroll and on Netflix. It just comes down to there's more casual fans of anime than there are diehard fans of anime. They just put it out that way. So that's why it's easier for Crunchy or Netflix to be like, hey, come check us out. Now, they are expanding a little bit. Like we said, the summer Hikaru died. Like for them to go out there and pick that one up, not knowing how successful it will be, right? And then also, with B Stars, I think B Stars was another gamble they took that I think paid off for them
Yeah.
because Crunchyroll wasn't going to pick that up, so they have that plus the you can come there and check out. They also have Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Mishi, as a lot of people are calling it. So they are getting a lot of exclusive Sakamoto days as well. But I think their key is also more people have a Netflix account than Crunchyroll. But now hey, new One Piece is also on here. Hey, you can check out Demon Slayer on here. Hey, Cowboy Bebop's on here. Hey, all of these things that people talk about, Full Metal out, like you can come check out the old school stuff, watch these and everything with the thing you're already paying for. So you don't have to dish out another $9.99 or whatever the price is for Crunchyroll now. It's already here. So everybody goes there and their streaming numbers go up, right? So it's just a lot of people kind of rushed and took offense to it, for whatever reason. I saw the post on Facebook and I'm just like, why are people so mad about this? Like, at the end
I
of the
don't
day,
understand.
we want people to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Are you muted, Jackie?
I also, sorry, yeah, I did because the dog. I muted because the dog. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I also think the article's a little bit of clickbait, just to rage people a little bit
Oh, yeah.
because like there are some people that are like Crunchyroll only, like you're not a true anime fan unless you watch Crunchyroll. But one thing I did find is that that's interesting is that like to your point that you talk about, most people have a Netflix subscription. There's like I think the statistics is that there's like 325 million paid subscribers out there. Crunchyroll has only 17 million. So now when you kind of like think about them surpassing, what were they actually using to determine the anime
metrics.
watchers? Were they like, hey, what streaming service do you primarily use?
Right.
Do you use both? Because like, what if I use both? Now, if you have people who have Crunchyroll and Netflix, right? And then the people who don't have Crunchyroll at all then says Netflix. Now, how is that Netflix overtaking Crunchyroll? So,
because you have both, Jackie, right?
yeah, I have both.
I have
So
both,
when you watch,
I have Hulu,
when you're
I have
watching,
Disney, so I watch them all.
when you're watching your anime, like so, Demon Slayer was on. Were you watching it mainly on Crunchyroll or over on Netflix?
Crunchyroll.
One Piece, it's on both Crunchyroll or Netflix.
Crunchyroll.
Is there a reason why?
I've always thought the what I get out of the quality for like the animation and the HD whatever words I'm trying to say, I get it's like looks better
Okay.
on Crunchyroll. I don't know why it looks muted sometimes on Netflix. Yeah, the subtitles sometimes are better, like they look better. But I still like, I don't know, I just like Crunchyroll. I'm also a big Crunchyroll fan. That's where I've watched all my anime. I only will watch it on Netflix if I'm having issues on Crunchyroll or if it's exclusively on
Netflix. Yeah.
Hmm.
What about
That's
you, EJ?
Otherwise, I go to Crunchyroll.
Are you the same?
I'm kind of the opposite. Because I'm already watching something else usually, before I flip over to anime. If I'm already in Netflix watching, I don't know, something that I was, let's say Stranger Things fan, and I'm like watching that, and then I finished that season. I only just check out the anime on here. But the times when I go to Crunchyroll more is if I want it in, sub, and I want to hear, because Netflix has a tendency to have more dub than sub. Where
Mhm.
Crunchyroll offers usually both.
Yeah.
If they, especially for popular. So popular series, if you want to listen to it in the original audio, you can on Crunchyroll. Whereas Netflix, you might not. And another thing Netflix was notorious for before, which they've corrected a lot, was having season 2, and they don't have season 1 or 3. That's all they had. So before with Netflix, you'd be like, "Oh, great, season 2 of Death Note. Where's the first part of Death Note?
We don't have rights
We
to
don't
that.
have that. Like, oh, great. Okay, that's not going to snag anybody who wants to watch the show. I mean, but they're improving that. So, but I mean, Crunchyroll's always been that, hey, we're going to carry, if we're going to carry it, we're going to carry as much of those seasons all together in sequence so you can have it. Where Netflix is, starting to get there, but that was never their huge selling point, that we have it all.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you guys have one season of Gundam, like awesome. But
Yeah, that's a good point because uh, when I was like, let me check out this Food Wars one. You go there, Netflix like, yo, we got it over here, and it starts at like season 3. Like, well, where's the
Yeah.
other? Like, how do I
oh,
get the backstory up to this? Oh, you don't. And then
yeah.
Hulu's like, come on through. We got you. So it's
Yeah.
now you're just bouncing around to different streaming services just to get the full experience
Mhm.
of one thing.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I thought Amazon Prime was going to enter the conversation on that because they had a lot of exclusives on their platform where I was like,
Mhm.
hey, this might they're stepping this shit up, and then they just kind of took a step back. Granted, they're moved on to like Legend of Vox Machina and all these other ones, which are amazing. You had Arcane that was fucking unbelievable and stuff. So they're doing their own thing. But the battle of the two, I agree with you, Jackie. It was one of those posts where they're like, hey, we can get a lot of reaction, a lot of interaction with this stuff. Let's just say, broad strokes, not getting into the weeds like you got into with how did they get this data? Is it because they just looked and saw anime is on this streaming service and this streaming service has more paid customers than this one?
Mhm.
So it surpassed it, or are you getting into the weeds and seeds and actually getting that data to be like, hey, both of these series are available on whatever. What are you watching on? Well, I watch it on this because this is what I have already. So it's it's kind of an unfair comparison to make, but
Mhm.
it did the job. It got people upset. It got people riled up, and to this day, like I'm still gonna rock both Netflix and Crunchyroll. And like if it's a simulcast
Same.
thing, I do just watch it on Crunchyroll because I already got my watch list set up. I just go there and it's just like, hey, your show that you was on your watch list has been updated. So
Yep. Plus, yeah, Crunchyroll updates it fast. Netflix doesn't get it right away.
yeah,
So that's the other piece
the
too.
Yeah.
simulcast, yeah, that's the thing you get with Crunchyroll. So
Yeah, and Crunchyroll has that option where it lets you know, hey, we've got the, updates on this season,
mhm,
where Netflix does that with their shows. They'll let you like, hey, do you want to save, this upcoming show that we got, you save, we'll remind you. But
right,
they don't have it for the older stuff that they put on,
right.
So yeah.
Cool. So over here, no love lost if you stream most of your stuff on Netflix, as long as you're watching anime, because all we want is just more anime fans. That's all we want. Because the
Exactly.
more the
Hell
more fans you
yeah.
get on that, the better the product is, like we talked about in previous episodes. But without further ado, spring is upon us. And
Spring has sprung.
ooh, look at you. That's why we keep you around, Jackie. That's it. You're the
Those
you're
those
the
points, like,
charisma of the show.
yes.
But we'll start with you, Jackie. Spring is out. I know you were like, hey, we got to get around and talking to these shows because there's a lot of heat coming out. Spring is
There
warming
is.
up. Summer's going to be here soon. So, what shows, we're going to talk about, 2 to 3 shows that we're tracking coming out this spring. which show, pick one, has your attention and you're really looking forward to it and expecting big things from it?
Um, so the first one that I want to talk about is called Akane Baneshi, I think is how it's pronounced.
Hmm.
It's a drama, slice of life, performing arts. Overall, if anyone's like big fans of Haikyuu or if they've ever watched Chihaya Furu, I'm probably saying that wrong, or any other like sports like anime type drama series, this one is kind of similar. However, it's really unique because it took on the form of rakugo, which is traditional Japanese storytelling, which I had to do some research into what that was because I've never heard of it before. But rakugo is a 400-year-old traditional Japanese comedic storytelling art form with a single art performer known as a rakugoka, who sits on a cushion and then they play multiple characters in a humorous story using only like a folding fan or a sensu, and then a small cotton towel or a tanuki, I think is how it's pronounced, as props.
Hmm.
Um, so the story is about this girl whose father is expelled from that world, and she decides to dedicate herself. Her name's Akane, to mastering the craft to restore his honor. And it's like through intense training and rivalries, she turns storytelling into a competitive, high stakes performance art. Apparently, like it's been getting a lot of rave. It's got around a 8 on IMDb for ratings. Crunchyroll 4.6. My anime list has it as an 8.3. The same studio that made Doctor Stone
Hmm.
also made it, TMS Entertainment, and it is on Crunchyroll right now. There's a manga out, sold over 2 million copies. So it's really interesting and unique with how they're like going through this. Now the style and like how they're gonna like probably over exaggerate some of the stuff that you see in like sports animes and or Food Wars, for example, except Food Wars is a little inappropriate. Um that piece of course is gonna be in there, but everyone's saying that treat it like a battle anime kind of, even though it's rakugo. Everyone says they love the performances and the storytelling's like super awesome and fun, and that's the piece that everyone's been captivated by, and I'm really excited to. I have not watched it yet. I
Right.
haven't watched the first episode. The art and the trailer looked really fun. The
Hmm.
opening was fun to listen to. The artists, I couldn't find any other music that they made, so this is new for them. And then the creators, this is their breakthrough debut series, so this is their major hit that's been getting a lot of love. So it's different. I always like when people things are like over dramatized, and this storytelling thing sounds really interesting. So yeah, that's my first one.
I'm all about the sports anime, so
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
And you
look
know
at
me, I
it.
don't
Yeah,
talk about them a lot, so I was
that's
like,
what.
let me
Hey,
talk about something I don't normally talk
hey,
about.
we're learning
That's cool.
because my picks. I'm like, hey, Jackie genre shamed me right into getting more
Sean
into
Connery.
the rom com
Why?
things. And like, let me sit and
Mhm.
watch this, but I was actually shocked. A lot of these are real funny. Like
Mhm.
they give me the sitcom vibes. But
Mhm.
what's one that has your eye this spring, EJ?
All right. Yeah. So, um, you mentioned the energy, and it seems like a lot of fun. I feel like this spring has released a lot of stuff, different, more vibrant titles, and I did see a lot of the increase in sports stuff. Now I picked some off the wall ones again because I'm scared of Jackie's genre shaming. So um, anyway, this one caught my eye just because the title caught my eye. Aaron the Southpaw. Okay, and the strange thing is, the more I look into it, it's been talked about since November of last year, but um, it's a drama. It's about high school kids into art, moving on, like trying to be, establish themselves in the industry, be it any form of industry. But one of the main characters, which is Aaron Yamagishi, is a very talented artist, but also a lot of this centers around street art and explosive graffiti, which was something, or explosive art, which in the graffiti form. So street art, and I thought, hey, that's really different, and I felt like I wanted to check it out, and reading into it and so forth, I thought that the drama aspects, of course, are more slice of life drama stuff from school, but it's that struggle that a lot of people recognize, especially the transition from being a student and trying to get into the fields and so forth that but also that struggle with artists where they want to be true to the art and true to their ideas and um, but also to be successful. So that line that's drawn, and in the in the in this series, it seems like the main characters, one is so caught off guard and inspired by the street art that they're questioning, they want to be on that level of innovation and ingenuity, but they're trying to make their way into the, an artistic industry, which, we all know, be it a musical art form, actual, like, painting and you know, drawn or painted art forms or any other media, usually they have the confines of what the industry wants. So this seems to address a lot, and I felt like the art is beautiful. It's beautifully done. The drama is definitely conveyed well with the characters when you're seeing emotions brought through, and I've always been a street art fan. Partaking in some myself as a youth, but not to the degree of this beauty.
See.
But I mean, the it is very beautifully
Back
done.
in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, we'd be at paint fences. No, but I thought overall the idea was cool to be incorporated that, and it caught my eye mainly because, like, when we were talking about the graffiti being shown in Gamiakucha on the wall, and how they incorporated that, bringing that culture into that one episode, and it related to the character, actually multiple episodes, but then to see this pop up again, I love I love a lot of different urban culture between street art, DJing, anything like that. So to see this brought in, I thought was cool. And if you get a chance to check out the trailer, the art is beautiful, and I think the voice acting, especially on the original audio, it sounds great. So, but I can't deny that the artistic direction with this and the flow of the directing looks very polished and very um very focused on delivering that dramatic feel and very lifelike situations. So if you get a chance, it's Aaron Southpaw. It looks very interesting. I have not checked out the episodes yet. I've seen the trailer and I've been reading up on it, but I'm interested to check it out. So
Nice.
It looks like there's a live action of it too.
yeah, there's also a live action. I don't know the productions on that as far, but as far as the productions or everything entailing the production for the animated version, let me see if I can pull up any kind of
Came out in 2019.
yeah, the live action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know much about the live action, but apparently it had a pretty decent following, and that's why people were looking forward to the title to begin with. So, but I have seen comments saying that they did a very good job at bringing this to life in the anime. So, hopefully people can check it out and enjoy it. Let me see. I'm still trying to find.
I like the color, the purple or the green.
Yeah, how they use that.
Contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was definitely drawn by the art. So, anyway, that's what are you looking at, Willie? What do you got for us?
yeah, so that was one I was looking at. So when we do these, ladies and gentlemen, we're like, hey, let's just find some anime. And like, for whatever reason, I don't know if we're all synced. It's like, we're just like, hey, these are the ones I want to talk about. So like an hour before the show, I'm like, let's all say what we're going to talk about. So we're just not like, I too wanted to talk about, because
Yeah.
I saw this one, and I'm big into boxing, the anime. The last one I watched and really liked was Megalobox, and there was 2 seasons of that. So Aaron the Southpaw comes. I didn't know there was a live action. I just, when you mentioned it, I looked, and I'm just I want to watch that. but I also want to get to the anime as well. So
Yeah.
story looks good. Like you said, I just looked at the trailer while you were talking, and we'll add it in post production and chop it up so YouTube doesn't come for us. So people, when they watch it, they can also watch along with us and see what
But
it
the
is.
Southpaw caught you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, I immediately thought of boxing, and I'm like, yo, I'm down with
Yeah.
that. And then when I
Right.
saw it, I was like, oh shit, it's street art. I'm down with
Yeah.
that too. So I was like,
So I'm just
you got
like,
me
Aaron
either
the
way.
Southpaw, let me check this shit out. This isn't
Yeah.
boxing. This is this is still interesting. So again, production by Production IG, who is a big name when it comes to animation out here. But for me, the first one, we had Jackie talking about sports. So let's talk about our rom-com. So this one is called Mistress Kanan is Devilishly Easy, right? So this one is one of those where you have a supernatural entity in a mundane setting, right? Like it's just, you have all this power. You're coming from this place. You come here and it's just slice of life, almost living for everybody else. But of course, she comes here for other reasons, right? So the narrative is more. So the protagonist, Kanan, is a high-ranking demon known as the Gourmet Devil. So she's in hell, and the souls of people who come to hell based on the quality of their soul represent a certain delicacy, right? So she grows tired of the culinary quality of souls, let's say, in the demon world. So she's like, hey, I'm going to go to the human realm and identify a soul that is so pure that it'll just, rid me of this desire I have and probably grant me the satisfaction of being full or, something along those lines. So she's like, I'm going to find the most pure soul in this school and I'm going to cultivate it and nurture it, and then I'm going to devour it, right? So she goes up there and she notices a soul that kind of fits that description, and it belongs to Yuji Kyogi, right? He's a junior student, and his soul, for whatever reason, possesses an exceptional vibrance. Like, just, she looks at it, it's a different color and everything. She's like, that's my guy. So the thing is, she is she's trying to cultivate the soul, and she keeps failing because she is inexperienced when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex, things of romance, things like that. She's very inexperienced when it comes to that, and she tries to get rid of that embarrassment and stuff by being super dominant and like, I'm gonna exert my dominance over this person. So she starts
Oh,
like,
she's a dominatrix.
yeah. So she starts doing stuff like, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you. I'm going to walk you through the campus with your hands tied and you'll be on a leash. But she doesn't know that old buddy likes that shit, right? So, so
Like,
it just, yeah.
threaten me with a good time.
So it's a lot of stuff like that. You can tell feelings are growing. There's one part that I was watching, dude's just like, here, hold my hand. We'll walk together. In her mind, she's like, I can't hold his hand because then I'll get pregnant. So she's so very inexperienced. Like she's trying to portray something that she totally
so
isn't. So
funny.
she is so out of the water with this stuff. It's
Yeah.
so hilarious to watch it, right? But it's based on a manga of the same name. Apparently there's 11 volumes out, right? So the first season's only 12 episodes. So that lets me know, like, I don't know if they're going to try and crunch all of the volumes into this. I hope not, because, I'd like for this to breathe and be a couple of seasons and stuff. But it's very well done. Animation is beautifully. It's done by Studio Kai, who is obviously in the midst of. I believe they're the ones behind Sentenced to Be a Hero that's going on right now with all the amazing animation in that one. But yeah, that's one of my forced myself to check it out, right? Let me get more into these rom-coms, because when these categories come up in the anime awards, I don't want to be like, save us, Jackie.
Yeah. Hook us up.
Well, it's funny because when I was talking about rom-coms, I always think of the nice, sweet, innocent ones, and then you come in with this BDSM
Off the wall,
one.
yeah, bro. I'm just like, she's
I
like,
wasn't
do this,
tracking
and he's
that.
just like, okay, I'm down with this, and she's just like, well, this isn't going, this isn't going
Yeah.
as I planned, but
That's so
it's
funny.
a good watch. So, what's another one you got, Jackie?
Okay. I'm gonna go on the other end of the spectrum.
Mhm.
Sorry, I know there's like some big ones and big titles that are out right now that you guys talked about you wanted to say, so I will not bring up those ones. The next one though, I thought looked really interesting, and it's not getting a lot of following right now. It's called Nippon Sangoku.
Hmm.
It's streaming on Amazon Prime.
There
So I
we
think
go.
this is why. It's one of those ones like how Doro was out for so long. We love Doro, and no one was like
Talking about
watching
it,
it or
yeah.
anything because they don't know a lot about it. And still to this day, there's not. I think that the past couple of years, people have been talking about it a lot more, and it's been getting a little bit more following. But I digress. So this one is a sci-fi political action drama. Basically, um, Japan collapses. So it goes from like I think modern day to like now it's like war torn between two different eras. And there's a total of three rival nations that are essentially established, and they're in this like tense power struggle. And out of it, there's this kid that kind of comes up and says, like, I don't like any of this. Like, I actually want to be here and I want to make things better and I want change. And he's a strategist that basically wants to start influencing the way that the war is going and then maybe how alliances are happening to kind of fix everything that's going on with the society as a whole. Um, and then with that, he meets like somebody else that decides that he also has his own goals and wants to protect him. But he's a swordsman, kind of. And in the first, like in the trailer, like someone was like threatening the main character, and he just chopped like both his hands off. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick. So the animation style is like what Uzumaki should have been and continue to be, because it's a little bit the colors kind of drained, but then there's very like light it's very there's like spring colors in it. It's very light with the characters,
Mhm.
and it's very drawing esque looking, which I love when they do that and they animate that instead of bringing like the CGI or computer type animations into it. Um, but it's already out. I think there's 5 episodes out now. It got a 7.9 on my anime list. Crunchyroll, unfortunately, right now it's at a 4.4. But a lot of people are like, no, people are not watching this enough. They are not actually like giving this anime a chance. Which anytime these animes come out, I always agree. So the Twin Engine, so ironically enough, Twin Engine's the one that produced this, which is the same company that did Doro.
Oh,
And they were part of Vinland Saga production support. So they're part of Vinland Saga. So I'm like, okay, definitely want to watch this. I couldn't get like the manga is out there, but I guess like the sales weren't really public because it's a very small like cult following kind
yeah.
of thing for this show. But the opening was really sick. It's the same singer that did the Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 part 1 opening, which is still to this day one of my most favorites. But this one looks really good. I'm really excited to watch it. The animation style looks really sick. And I just really like when they bring animes with the strategy component into it and you don't know like what's gonna happen, and it adds like that element of suspense. Kind of like how what was her name? The reincarnated like general chick that has powers. Starts with a T. Tatsuya, Tatayana. Shit, I'm forgetting what that one is.
Who's that?
Anyways, it starts with a T. It's like she's like a general. She's really small and short. She has blonde hair. She's a strategist. She's really powerful. I can't remember
You
what
talk
that
about
anime
that?
is called.
Oh, you talk about Tanya? She comes back.
Tanya, the
Yeah.
evil.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's another one y'all need to check out. That shit's wild.
Yeah. But it like things like that, like where
Yeah.
the strategy and all that stuff with war, it's like that's always like really cool to me. So this one seems like it might be similar, and it's post-apocalyptic, which love post-apocalyptic shows to see where that goes. This one looks really cool. I'm really excited to check out the first episode.
Nice. Nice. What you got, EJ? Think you're muted as well. It happens to the best of us.
Okay, so thank you. So this one was absolutely not going to be my pick until I started digging into it. But the
Those are the
Rooster
best.
Fighter,
Those are the best.
Rooster Fighter Kenji is my next pick, and as ridiculous as the whole idea sounds, that there's a supernaturally powered chicken that's fighting kaiju, demonic kaiju, to save the world because he's looking for the demon who killed his sister. It sounds like something out of Kung Fu Theater /
Dude.
whatever added with a chicken.
Is
And
this a
it's
Nicktoon?
chicken, literally chicken fighting like 10-story tall demonic kaiju. But for some reason, between the comedy and this, and they execute the action amazingly with the art. I mean, for some reason, it just grips hold of you because you're laughing at first, and then you're like, this little chicken is actually bringing the heat, yo. He's fucking throwing down with some giant kaiju, dude. And for some reason, you're just like, wow, that's not too bad, actually. It's not as bad of a story. You go in hoping for a train wreck, and it comes out being entertaining. So in a way, it's only getting like 6 out of 10 on my anime list and stuff, but a lot of the viewers, a lot of fans, though, seem to really enjoy the break, the fact that it's adding comedy, but the action is still great. And it is based off of manga, which had good traction as a comedy action manga. So apparently enough people were into that where they're like, hey man, they should just translate that. And when they did, the action translates pretty good into an anime. And the story's, you know, we've all heard that story before, but to hear it coming from a chicken is just different. But it's just like the intensity of it, and the approach makes it seem like they're really serious, and but that's what makes it even more hilarious is their super serious approach for a chicken fighting a 10-story demon monster. So it's like, but the art is entertaining. The action sequences are pulled off very well for as well as you could think of a chicken fighting. Yeah, so that's my pick.
I love the art style and how rough it is.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it seem very I don't know, like gritty.
He's like
gritty and tough, and you're like this is a chicken show.
Chicken
like,
sensei.
Yeah, and his voice actor is just so tough sounding. You're just like, this chicken just sounds like he's out to kick at. It's like, what? But it's just, and I mean, to me, the voice actor, you have to give him props because he's sitting there reading a script and doing his,
putting the emotion behind this,
exactly.
And you're looking at the anime or the
this
picture
guy deserves
of it.
an award. He's playing a part of a chicken and he's selling it, bro. He's selling a tough ass kaiju fighting chicken. So anyway, that's my second pick. I thought because of spring, this high energy, high color, and this doesn't disappoint. It brings it with the artistic talents, like Jackie said, is very rough edged, very tough looking, and then it reminds me of kind of like Fatal Fury and Street Fighter as far as the rough art moving in, but just the idea that it's anchored in such comedy is good. But that's my pick.
Dude, I forgot too when I watched the trailer, and what made me want to watch it so bad, it was the 2 parts. It was the one where the little girl was like, here, do you want some? And she's offering the chicken, fried chicken. And it was like, this is really tasty. And then you know how when also in trailers, as they go through it, they put a blurb. They're like, one fight, one destiny, and it's to get there. But
so
their thing says one cock. I was like, oh my god, dude.
They know what they're doing, dude. They know what they're doing.
Stupid.
And they pull it off. It's pretty funny. But no, I hope people check it out because I feel like, this is another one of those when you bring up series that it's a good break from all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's like Witch Watch.
So yeah, palate cleanser. But what do you got, Willie? What's next?
Yeah, it's just crazy how the illustrators and the artists behind this thing is just like somebody pitches this to them. They're just like, all right, hear me out. Hear me out. And they're like, there's one person they're like, I think I could draw that shit. And they got this chicken looking like a fucking G
I
out
know.
here, bro.
Jack!
Like,
I know.
See his muscles,
When
dude,
he
and his
rushes into the
wings.
fight, you're just like what?
I'm
What
like,
is happening?
I'm like,
This man is
"Jeez."
flipping cars.
I know, dude.
Pitch.
Yep.
I just like no offense, but like when people are pitching anime and manga, like they just come up and be like, "All right, guys, hear me out," and people are like, "All right, we're game." You know, there's
got
no
this idea.
there's no dumb ideas when you're coming up with the manga, bro.
Guess not. I
Oh my
guess
god.
not.
It reminds me of you guys ever watch Pitch Perfect? I think it was 4 or something. When Anna Kendrick, this is when they're like all like out in college, and she's what's his name? Keenan is in it, and he's like a lead of a studio.
Oh
and
yeah,
this,
yeah.
And this guy, he's like asking people like, pitch your ideas. Let's go. And the one
Yeah.
dude's like, I got it. Xylophones. And he's like, you just don't know how to shut up. He's like, does anyone else have an idea? It's just like this whole thing. That's what this just reminds me of that dynamic where he's like, anybody got anything else? I'll
Anything.
take anything at this
Any
point.
ideas?
And then so someone was just like, chicken.
Chicken.
Okay, go
Versus
on.
kaiju.
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
go on.
Specifically a cock.
Mm,
It's just
yes.
so everybody loves Kaiju number 8, right? Yeah. What if we took
What if we
what if we
replaced
took
Kafka
Kafka
with Kenji
with
the,
the
chicken?
rooster? Hey, let him cook. Go. Yeah. No.
Let
Let him
him
cook.
cook.
Let him cook.
He's
Go
on
ahead. Yeah.
something.
Go
Meanwhile,
on.
someone's in
and
the
you
back.
come in with a bucket. You come in
Yeah,
with a
I was
bucket of
just gonna
fried
say
chicken.
someone's in the back
And you're just
eating
like-
fried chicken.
You're just eating fried chicken, selling you. You're like, I
Uh-huh.
think it'd be great. And then everyone's like, they just want a piece of the chicken. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
let's do it. Can I have some of that chicken? It's like,
Oh my
bro,
god.
somehow they made it work. They made
Hey.
it work.
Shout out
So-
to them, man. Shout out to them. My
Yeah, dude.
next one up is a kind of in that weird romance, but they do have a lot of action in this one. So this one's called Marriage Toxin, and the plot focuses on our main character, Hikaru. Right, he's the reluctant heir to the poison master Jiro family. So in this world, there's houses of families that specialize in certain assassination tactics, right? So his family is big on poisons and toxins and stuff. So he spent the main character spent his entire existence within the dark side of society, perfecting the use of toxins for assassination, neglecting any semblance of social romantic life. My man's just been focused on how do I make the perfect toxin to do the thing that I needed to do. No social skills, right? None of that stuff. His toxins, like he can make stuff that can like melt cars. He can make stuff to affect his body, like I don't want to say antitoxins, but like to enhance his physical capabilities, his senses and stuff. So he's like he's pretty OP in my eyes, right? But here's the thing, because he's antisocial and stuff, he's the only male offspring in his family. He does have a sister, but his sister is already in a committed relationship with her wife, right? She's a lesbian. And the head of the family is just like, hey, bro, if you can't get a woman and have a kid, we're going to arrange a marriage for your sister. And he's like, no, not my sister. She's already in love. Like, don't do that. I'll find somebody. Give me some time, right? So his whole thing, right? So he's on a mission. He has to execute somebody. He spares the target. Her name is May, right? So May is a genius marriage swindler who cross-dresses as a woman to manipulate targets, right? So it's a dude dressed as a woman who does that to kill people. But now May, because their expertise is in human psychology and attraction, she's trying to teach him how to do that so he can find somebody. So that's where kind of the comedy ensues, because now he'll go on missions, right, that double as like meetups for potential bride candidates. So each one, it's funny because each one involves like another person that's trying to execute either him or somebody else, right? So that's the whole theme moving forward. and he's in the process of trying to find somebody. So there's some humor in it, but then clock's ticking because a part of you, you're just like, his sister's already married, got a wife, everything, and that family's just like, hey, we need to keep this bloodline going to keep the house, the poison masters going. So either you find somebody, my guy, or your sister's gonna hook up with somebody. So there's that little bit of tense, to it, but you got all these different houses. You got Water Master. There's also Beast masters as well. Like they use animals and creatures to do the thing. So Sound Master. The funny one that I saw was for the Hamster Master, which was a it's like I said, when people pitch ideas and they're building this world, you're just like, damn, this is a hold up. They use what to do what? They're like, oh, Hamster Master, what? Hear me out. And you're just like,
we've run out of masters.
Yeah, they make the shit work,
We found the Hamster Master.
But again, awesome. Apparently, it premiered in Japan in 2020 December, I think, last year. Let me see. Nope. So the series, which premiered in 2026. So obviously, it's coming around in spring. Production company behind it, or the animation company behind it, Studio Bones, right? So the pedigree of the animation studio is there. Directed by Motonobu Hori, I think that's right, Hori, whose directorial style is influenced by his background in high motion animation. So when you start looking at the action scenes in this, you're just like, you would think that it's a shonen. You would think that it's a straight up shonen, right? But then when you get out of those action scenes, you get kind of like the slice of life, the kind of tender moments where you can let your emotions get involved and you can start feeling, his, like the main character's race to try to do what he can to keep the family going, because he wants that to happen, but also get over his insecurities and his antisocial characteristics and stuff. So very good show. Animation is dope. Like the two that I talked about, Studio Kai. Then you have Bones. So it's just again, keep it up, guys, but try not to do too much. Don't burn yourselves out. We don't want what happened, I think, a few years ago with Mappa and all of those guys. I think since that incident with Mappa, a lot of these studios are kind of just dialing back the amount of IPs they pick up to give illustrators and animators some time off, which is good. Please keep that going. But in the meantime, whatever pace you got, where Gachakuta is also Studio Bones, and then now you're putting this out, like, I'm not mad.
And they also,
I'm not mad.
They're also responsible for Daemons of the Shadow Realm too. So, and that's this season.
That's this
one of the top this season. So Bones is pumping them out, man. So
so that's I'm looking at him like, all right, Bones, like, thanks, but let's
don't lose it.
don't lose it, please. But opening, ending, good stuff. Like it's a good show all around. So I was looking into it, and from what I'm seeing is like they try to, when they were putting this thing together, they were trying to position it for a global audience, right? I think Crunchyroll is handling the streaming for North America, Europe, and India, and Netflix has it for Southeast Asia. So it's like they want it to be covered as much as possible, while Crunchyroll is the main way to watch it here in the States and stuff. Netflix is also tapping into that. So I think that also kind of is like Netflix putting their bid in to do a little bit more when it comes to that side. So we'll see how that works. But that's my second one. If you guys want to share a third one.
Looks like a good pick, man. I mean, just the art alone. I like the colors. I like the integration, and I definitely like the smooth art, like for that. I don't know, that urban feel. Just they pulled it off really good for a lot of those scenes. So
it's a lot of these. I mean, if you watch anime, there's a lot of anime surrounding the world of assassins and all of these things. I think this was a little nuanced, change. It's nothing too dramatic, but just adding that element of, a dude's going out being a professional assassin for so long, obviously they don't have any real skills when it comes to like connecting to somebody on a level to be in a relationship, to start a family and stuff. So he's trying to learn that not only for himself but for his family and to help his sister out. So marriage
Kind of
toxic.
reminds me. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, marriage. It kind of reminds me of the. I don't know if anybody's watched that show Barry from HBO, where
Oh, it's
about
with
man.
the guy from
Um,
Saturday Night Live is on it.
Yeah, he's hilarious, but I can't remember his name in the moment. But anyway, it's kind of he's a hitman.
Bill
But when you describe
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader,
Yes.
Bill Hader, but the whole not having the social aspect or interactions,
Yeah,
that just
100%.
perfectly reminded me of that, where he's just like didn't know how to interact with people or
Yeah.
like to act like he's sad at certain moments. It's just like oh, that's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show, man. We got time for one more because we do want to let everybody know the will they won't they bracket reveal. That's part of the best anime couple. But do we have time for one more pick from each of us? You got one, Jackie?
I do.
Okay, what we got?
So, there's a lot of big ones still out there. So again, I don't want to talk about the big ones because they're already very popular. So the one I want to talk about, which I thought was very fitting because it's spring, is called Agents of the Four Seasons. So the genres of fantasy, drama, romance. It's on Crunchyroll. Basically, what happens is the world is kind of like plunged in winter right now because spring was kidnapped about 10 years ago. And a lot of people hadn't seen spring. They didn't know what it was, especially young children that had been born within that time frame that she was kidnapped. And now 10 years later, she comes back and they had found her. And now they're trying to balance the seasons, basically, because now this area or city that they're in has been like plunged in this like winter kind of darkness type thing where people haven't really seen any like light at all. And so all of the seasons, so the four seasons, they aren't like goddesses or gods. They're basically lent this power to ensure that the seasons and the power of the seasons are brought to it, and they all have bodyguards because people want to put a imbalance into the seasons. And so you have fall and the guard of fall, and then you have spring and the guard of spring. So it kind of starts off with like I think her name is Hina. Let me make sure I don't mispronounce this. Yeah, Hina Giku. She is the agent of spring, and her bodyguard, which is Himidaka, they go to the city to bring spring back. And the first thing that like a child says is like, "What's spring?" Like she's never heard of it before, and she's like, "I don't believe you. Like that doesn't happen here," kind of thing. And it goes into like the tragic backstory a little bit about the young child and like what spring means to her. And it's very pretty. It seems like there's a little bit of like how she got kidnapped, and it'll probably be explained later. There was probably something where the agent of winter was supposed to protect her, so that's where the romance I think is going to come in potentially between those two characters. It's there's a lot of like political tension. I talked about personal trauma, the fragile relationships that they're going to hold their like world together. It got a 7.9 for IMDb, 8.0 on my anime list, only a 4.5 on Crunchyroll, but a lot of people are talking about this. They said the visuals are really gorgeous, the emotional tone is there. A lot of people says it feels like Violet Evergarden, so if you're a fan of Violet Evergarden, but it's fantasy instead, which I liked Violet Evergarden a little bit, but I dropped it. I had to get back into it, but I always like the fantasy elements that are brought into it. I've been really missing like a good fantasy romance anime, so hoping this scratches the itch. It's based on a light novel that had 6+ volumes, and the same studio that did it was Wit Studio, so Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga. So this is like really, really gorgeous art. Again, it looks like drawn, and the colors too match like spring perfectly. And it's funny because it wasn't the first one to come out. It was like day 2 or day 3 of spring. The first one, unfortunately, was Rooster Fighter, and everyone was making jokes and saying like, of course, leave it to the cock to come first in spring. To ruin everything and come first is what it said, which was really, I thought was really funny. um, but the opening was really great. The same band that does the opening did also the openings for Violet Evergarden.
Mm.
True is the band name. So this one looks like a really good, like nice, uh, gorgeous like romance anime. There's a lot that actually came out in spring, which I think is nice because it's like love is blossoming and blooming. So all this like love and romance animes that they're bringing into this, I think is like really awesome. It's the themes are definitely there for spring, and this one was a good one of how it started with just like spring
Yeah,
is
look,
kidnapped. Oh no, now she needs to bring spring back to the world, and the creator of this actually, um, I think it's her, or am I mixing this up with another one I was going to talk about? Oh damn, I'm confusing it with a different one that I was going to talk about. I think.
I like the art a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of symbolism, like of course to match to different seasons, and they convey that pretty cool with the
Yeah.
the
Yeah, there's
appearance
fighting
of
in it and everything too. So, how crazy that fighting is going to be? Probably not, because I think it's 14 plus. So you're not going to see like a lot of
blood.
like blood and gore and stuff like that. So it's
You
going
don't
to be
need
like your typical shojo ish shonen elements with the fighting.
Yeah.
But I think I am going to really like this one, and I'm really
A lot of
excited.
people
And
are
the
saying it's one of the most overlooked, like for the spring when it's been impressive. So
yep.
Yeah.
So that's my
looks good.
romance pick. I had to bring a romance one into it.
You wouldn't be Jackie if if you just stayed away from
you'll
your,
be like
your romance.
imposter. This is an imposter
Now,
if there's no romance.
does Steve watch these with you? Steven watches them with you or no?
Not all the time. So it just depends, because some of them he'll watch, but sometimes like
It's too romantic, or
well, he doesn't know if he'll like it, so it takes him a couple episodes sometimes, or he'll start falling asleep. I'm like, all right, we'll just get back in.
Oh, I
fine,
guess
I'll
it's
watch
not
it.
Yeah.
Not romantic enough for Steve.
But he does. He's a sucker. He loves rom-coms. He's actually the one that wanted me to watch the Kaguya-sama Love is War. He's watched that all the way through, and I haven't even finished it. And I have
Okay.
to go back and yeah. So he likes the rom-coms.
we gotta
also.
have
Broaden
him
horizons.
be
Yeah.
a guest on the show one time. You gotta let him
Yeah.
come on here and,
I will.
share his thoughts on some stuff. That's dope though.
I will. I'll tell him.
You got a third one for us, EJ?
Yes, I do, sir. I have. Let me grab that. It is called "Killed Again, Mr. Detective," and it is. Let me see if I have the. Hold on. It's about a young detective who comes from has a very famous investigator for a father, but he has a supernatural ability to be reborn after dying, and he uses that to solve these cases. And I felt like the art is good, but I also like the idea, the whole premise of the mystery and so forth. It's gotten decent ratings, but it's fairly, it still hasn't kind of exploded yet. Its source was from a light novel, and the studio I wasn't as familiar with, Linden Films. I've seen some stuff, but nothing that was huge that it was on my what I've watched. But the art is good. As far as turning out the story, it's still new, so it's just growing. But I like the concept of it, and I like the fact that the episodes follow different mysteries, so you could pick up an episode and watch it. It's not so much like you have to see every one in order, just in case you miss a few or something, or you just pick it up. But it looks good. The acting's nice, done well. As far as I could tell from the first episode, the voice acting's done well. The art is done well. I would say it's that's why the 6 score is not way off to me as far as what you've gotten so far. I feel like it has potential, and we could see that grow possibly. Or if they stagnate, it's going to stay right where it's at. But the idea was interesting to me, that this guy walks in to try to solve mysteries, and even at the expense of his own life, like if that's what it takes to solve this. So the ultimate sacrifice to find the answers. But that was interesting to me. I hope they build on that more as it goes on. But it looks solid. Like I said, the voice acting is decent. So everything's decent now in that 6 to 7 range. It has potential though. So that was my third pick. It's the out of the three that I picked, this is the one that has the least amount of going on so far. That but hopefully it picks up. So once again, it's Killed Again, Mr. Detective. It seems interesting.
Is it like an Edge of Tomorrow thing? Like you die and you come back to a certain point?
He's reborn, or they call it rebirth, but he dies, and then it doesn't affect the world around him so much. It's more of a power within himself. So it's the only way he can make. I mean, in a sense, it's kind of like a not to the extent like in the Live, Die, Repeat or whatever that when he dies, the whole thing resets. This is more, but he also gets to keep the knowledge, just like you're think from that movie, like how he kept the knowledge, so every time he died, he just got better at it. Same thing here, like he's able to explore things, and if he loses his life, he's still working towards the solution of this mystery.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, but I'm hopeful. Like I said, it's different, it's interesting, and I'm hoping it picks up some steam. If not, we always got the Rooster Fighter. So, what was your third pick, Willie? What you got?
So I'm leaning more towards the mech side with this one, and it's a kind of a not so heavy on the mechs, but they do play a part in this. So it's a show over Crunchyroll is running it right now. I think it's also on Hulu, called Snowball Earth, and it's like a blends kind of like a boy and his robot, or like the pilot and the mech. Remember, it was a few seasons ago I was talking about Bang Bang Brave Braverin, the pilot and the mech having that relationship. Think of it as if you played Titanfall, video game on Xbox. The second Titanfall, where the mech and the pilot, the character you're controlling, they have that relationship of like being partners almost. So that's kind of the thing in this one. So this is crazy. So the show begins in the future of where humanity is besieged by kaiju, right? Kaiju are coming down. So the Earth creates this defense force called the E-RDE. And they use advanced mechs piloted by young saviors. So instead of calling pilots, they're saviors, young kids in here controlling things. So almost think like Evangelion, almost, right? So the primary savior is a guy named Tetsu, and he pilots a robot called Yukio. So they have this battle. They're up in space. Things are going left. Yukio knows that he's going to have to like sacrifice himself. Chances of Tetsu surviving are low. So he ejects Tetsu, and he's in an escape pod. Yukio, you assume, is destroyed, and he's floating around in space in the escape pod in cold sleep. So they automatically go into like this sleep. He comes out of cold sleep about 10 years later, comes to Earth, finds that it's totally transformed, right? It's totally frozen. So civilizations collapse, and every human that he meets is in a kind of a isolated outpost, right? So he's trying to figure out what the heck's going on, right? So social discovery, trying to see how world is now, and he's trying to figure out how to save it because he made a promise to his mech, Yukio, right? So that's his driving force. So he's trying to figure this stuff out, comes across an outpost where there is a person in there who has learned how to tame the kaiju to protect their settlement, which is kind of cool. You have these faction leaders, so it's almost, I don't want to say Walking Dead-ish, where like you have these different factions and different followings and stuff, but the one person, the kaiju tamer, she tamed a kaiju that kind of just scorches stuff, and she uses that as the means to defend and her, things like that. So pretty dope. It's only 5 episodes in, so the world building is still there and stuff. So it seems like something that can catch on. It has a 4.5 out of 5 on Crunchyroll, 7.2 over on, I think, Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. But again, Studio Kai is over here, or IMDb, 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Studio Kai behind this one, so a lot of these companies are cranking these things out, and I just like it because it's like the composition and the music that plays, not so much the opening and ending, but like during the show. You have Shigeru Murakoshi, who handled composition for Apocalypse Hotel. You got a collaborative effort between Tatsuya Kaito from who did Free, and then Hiroki Tsutsumi, who also helped with Jujutsu Kaisen. And, so just setting the tone. I always like that, especially when you're talking about a almost post-apocalyptic, like the world is just barren and you're just trying to, the music plays a lot of that because it's not a whole lot going on when you're like walking this barren, frozen earth. So you need something to pull you in and have you kind of understand and feel what the character is going through. And they do a good job doing that. So Snowball Earth is out here. Studio Kai putting them out. I talked about them twice. Doing the Mistress Kana is Devilishly Easy, and now they're doing Snowball Earth. So to go from something as comical and rom-comish as that to something as serious as Snowball Earth, man, shout out to the creators and the directors and everything over there at Studio Kai. They're really
I like the
doing
art.
a great
It looks
job.
very like revamped retro is the best way I could say it. Like some of the characters in the reference, or like one of the mechs look very throwback to like early anime, but then the art is very beautiful and like detailed, so it looks really cool.
Yeah, because that's what because when you're thinking mechs now, you're thinking like Gundam just redesigned my thoughts of mechs. Like they got to be something
Exactly. You're just like,
superior.
oh, they're
Then
all
you
gonna
see
fight.
this mech, you're like, what is this from fucking Mega Man on the Nintendo? Like what is
Exactly. And it's very throwback, right? Like the art, and you're like, but then if you look at some of the scenes, like you were describing
Right.
the
I want to play that game.
post-apocalyptic Earth, the barren Earth,
right?
and some of that is so detailed and beautiful in that show. It's like,
Yeah. So those are just 3 picks from the 3 of us. Obviously, there are bigger hitters out there. I know people are probably like, so you guys aren't going to talk about demons? No. And I mean, because there's other people that have talked about it. I think we did a good job of trying to talk about the ones that are a little bit more obscure, that aren't getting the hype train pushed behind them. So please check those out. If you do like them, come back, let us know in the comments. Like, hey, I checked this out, or I have been watching that. I'm glad somebody's finally talking about it. Any kind of feedback is good. And since I know there's more than just 9 anime coming out, if you found one that you feel needs some shine, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll check it out and give our thoughts on it. So,
but always interested to hear.
Oh yeah, like just keep adding to my list that I'll probably never check all the way off. So it's fine. It's fine. Because and I say that.
Let's just add it.
Yeah, I say that, and it's a great problem to have.
It is.
But the moment everybody's been waiting for, they want to know who the 4 couples will be in our will they won't they region of our best anime couples bracket. So how we'll roll this out is we each one of the hosts, perk of hosting this show is we pick a couple and we will put them on there. That leaves the one spot for the fans of the show, and we'll look at your comments and we'll see which one of your choices gets to make that 4th billet, and then we'll move on to the next section of our bracket. So without further ado, let's get to our best couples bracket. All right. So, will they, won't they couples? Probably one of the hardest ones, because when you do bring up some of these couples, you can say, well, they could also fit into one of these other categories. Best action couple, best this couple. So it's one of those where you're just going to have to, plant a flag. They're here, and then we will find somebody else in those other brackets. You know, because there's plenty of couples out there in the history of anime. So, Jackie, our romance specialist here on Eat the Cake Anime, what or who is the couple that you are nominating in the will they, won't they region of our bracket?
Sorry,
No,
I'm
it's
pulling it up right now because I wrote them all down to make sure that I have the right one. Oh my god, I'm having issues.
It's all
Skip me. Go to EJ.
You got your couple ready, EJ?
Sorry.
I do. I don't know how popular they are because they're pretty old, but
It doesn't
I
matter.
brought it up
You're a
on
host.
the yeah. I brought it up on the discussion about the couples was Rick Hunter and Lisa from Robotech. And the reason that I brought that up was because as old as it was, it felt so straight up in the like idea of you always had that relative, a grandma, an aunt, or something that was into their stories. Robotech sold soap opera level relationship with Rick Hunter and Lisa. I'm telling you, you go back and you watch it and you're just like, it's this on again, off again. Do they like each other? Don't they? And then Rick's got this other girl that he likes. It's like this superstar. And then he's, but Lisa's like this,
Yeah.
hard edge officer that knows her shit, and keeps him in line. So it's a really great, like, story to follow as far as their relationship building and how it gets there. Plus, it's Robotech. I mean, we were just talking about mechs. I mean, you're talking about one of probably the, the
Definitive
staples,
shows,
the corners of mechs that tie in this whole thing while you're watching it. And then, you're in this intense space battle between mechs and alien mechs and whatever. And then still it boils down to radio conversations between Rick and Lisa, and they're just at each other's throat or something. And it's like that whole will you, won't they? But the series was long enough and enough going on that you really got more vested into their relationship, and you could look back at these events and so forth and how it grew. So that's my pick because I feel like we're getting a lot of, I want everybody, all of our friends and viewers and followers to be able to check out other stuff. Go and check out some of these originals that kind of, implanted the idea that these growing romances and relationships that we see today, how they were incorporated. Because at the time there was really limited as far as animated kind of drama. I mean, you're talking about early 80s. There's almost no animated drama. You had G.I. Joe and stuff on TV as far as we had, Transformers, He-Man. I mean, there you go. There's the romance extent of America in the early 80s was He-Man. So to see this being thrown out there, you actually, you get to see how anime delved into more mature content and why it became something that grabbed people for long series and years, as opposed to things like Thundercats, which we all enjoyed growing up, but the depth of characters and the drama between them and stuff was definitely not on the same level. So if you get a chance, check it out. Just look up. There's probably still a whole bunch of stuff as far as Rick and Lisa. And I know, especially any of the old anime heads are probably gonna be like, yeah, I know that. I mean, I'm talking about you, Rob. So they're out there, and I'm sure Kampachi knows too. So you guys hear me. Rick and Lisa are my pick.
Okay. I'm not mad at it, man. All right, Jackie, you ready?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
I had to
It's
pull
all
it up.
good.
I was like, oh, I don't have it up. So my pick, because this is really hard. Again, we opened up more of the bracket, or not the brackets.
Yeah, we went from 16 to 32.
Yeah, the titles. I was like, oh my gosh, who am I gonna put in this?
Wow.
So I was struggling between like, do I want to pick like the couple that you have like 8 seasons, and like romance isn't like the top topic, but it's there, and you're like, are they gonna do it, or not, so on and so forth. But then I realized like, oh, the perfect couple. There's literally a show created about this whole entire couple about whether or not they're going to get together. I don't know why I'm not picking them. And that is going to be Kaguya Shinomiya and Miyuki Shirogane from Kaguya-sama Love is War. Because literally the entire show is about them like refusing to confess to each other, and you're just wondering when it's going to happen. And and then it goes into the end. But it's that whole entire dynamic. It's an elite mind game energy, basically, of who's gonna do it. And you're like, it's very comedic. It's very funny. But then there's also like those little moments where you're like, oh my god, is this gonna be it? And then they don't confess, so it's like, oh my god. So the tension is like pretty fun with the show. So that's my pick. I know I saw a lot of people's comments. Of course, everyone's picking like the typical like shonen type like couples that the whole premise around the show isn't romance. But which is good too. But my whole thing was like, if we're talking about romance, though, these are, in my opinion, the top like couple that you're just like, when is it gonna happen? And everyone's just waiting because already that they love each other because it's very clear.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for when it's gonna happen, and then when it happens, you're like, oh my god, finally, Jesus Christ.
Good pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was almost without saying, like, they either would have been there, or I could see people kind of, I don't know. I was going to say like iconic couple, because they are kind of when you hear will they, won't they, they're just like, boom, this is the show about will they, won't they, right?
Yeah,
based on how they
could have been called that.
Yeah, how their relationship started to where it's at now. You're just like, guys, just fucking make it happen, right? So for me, I was let me tell you how hard I was debating. I almost wrote it in pen with Yor and Lloyd from Spy Family. But I was like, I think they would fit better in the couples in action. The power couple was. I feel like that's where they belong, right? Even though the will they, won't they shit, I'm just like, well, if y'all just don't tell each other how you feel. However, going with leading more towards EJ, we're talking about mechs, and there is one anime that I watched and I adore called Gurren Lagann, right? And very, I don't want to say old school, but if there is the protagonist Simon, the kid, right? And then he has the big bro he looks up to, Kamina, right? Who's the cool dude, has the cool ass shades and shit, all of this stuff, talks all the talk, the brave dude, the bravado, all of that stuff. And they come across another character. Her name is Yoko Littner. And she doesn't like the bravado. So when they first meet, it's like, they're button heads all the time. They just, opposites are not attracting, right? But as the show progresses, you can kind of see them warming up to one another. And so you're just like, oh my gosh, are they going to be the couple? Are they going to? And so you're watching it. And then when they finally emit how they feel about one another, right? Tragedy happens, and Kamina is gone, right? So then you see the pain and everything on Yoko but it's the lead up to that where you're just like, oh my god, you guys obviously like each other. Just say something, and then the travesty and there's just the tragedy of they finally admit how they feel and one's taken away. Like they wasted all of that time. So I was just like, well, that could be, I forget the name of it, but like tragic couples or something like that on there. But the will they, won't they burn for me for that one, I think was well worth it. So that is who I am adding on there. I am adding Yoko, and I'm adding Kamina from Gurren Lagann for the will they, won't they couple. I also was thinking about some of the more modern ones, obviously, Momo, and Jesus Christ, I forgot my man's name.
Okron.
Yes.
Okron.
From Dan to Dan, because that's the new hotness for me. I'm just like,
yeah.
I swear to God. I swear to
And you know,
God, yeah.
same thing. You know that you're like, come on, guys.
Bro, like
Come on.
that one episode where she was at the maid cafe and she's like, "You don't have to wait for me. It's too late." And she walks out and my man waiting for her. I'm just like, dog,
Oh yeah.
this is it. You gotta taste.
I like the one where they hit each other's teeth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh man. The moment is ruined by
Right.
teeth. Like, oh my god, no. Yeah.
Always.
How
Always.
embarrassing. That is the click. Oh
She
shit.
was like jealous of the other girl, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Bro.
that was good.
But
They couldn't find each other at 3 episodes, and then they found each other like
part.
face on. Like,
Oh, they were running and looking for one another. Oh my god, they're doing that so well. They're writing that part so well.
they are. That is excellent. If the people call that one, I won't be mad. That one's right up there.
So we did post a question in our podcast page on Facebook. Who is your favorite will they won't they couple? So here are some of the couples that we got. Let me know what you guys think. So we have someone who said Vegeta and Bulma. We have someone who said Edward and Winry from Full Metal Alchemist. Ichigo and Orihime from Bleach. They did caveat saying, I know this will anger some of the Ichigo Rukia diehards. We have Yuki and Itsumi from A Sign of Affection. And we have Frieren and Himmel from Frieren. What do we feel about those?
The Frieren and Himmel one is actually
Solid.
not bad.
That's
a
solid.
pretty, yeah. I was like, oh wow, I didn't.
That's
even
another one like your pick, Willie,
think
where it's
about
like
that.
the opportunity, the window of chance and
Right.
for the love
Has
when it
gone.
becomes apparent is so that could fall into the tragedy one too. I mean, you don't know. I mean, it could.
We got like you, we have somebody in here saying Rick Hunter and Lisa Hayes from Robotech. You know, that made it up there. We have Spike Spiegel and Julia from Cowboy Bebop. Keith and June from, was it Gotcha Man? And Crying Freeman and Emu from Crying Freeman. That was from Rob.
Yeah.
Somebody's just like Vegeta.
Wasn't there Zoro? Hold on.
There might have been. I'm looking at one. One says Natsu and Lucy from Fairy Tale.
I have not watched Fairy Tale.
And then we have Asta and Noel from Black Clover, which, you know,
Zoro and Nami. Did we already say that?
Zoro and Nami from One Piece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's defer to our One Piece expert here. Do you feel like that's a will they, won't they between those two?
For who was it again? Sorry, you cut out.
Zoro and Nami.
No.
Okay.
Is it a given or?
No. I think that's like. I think that's just
the
like
fans want it to happen.
You're trying to force it. Yeah, you want that to happen.
Oh,
like
okay.
Ichigo and Rukia, it's almost like no, because Ichigo and Rukia makes more sense that fans want that to happen. I mean, I wanted that to happen. When I found out Orihime was chosen, I was like, that was stupid. But yeah, I don't, and I still to this day don't understand what the choice was for that.
She's like, I'm not a fan of that.
But it's kind of like saying that like Ino and Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what that is. Like you're trying to force something that's
something
like
that you thought would be cool, but you don't see it ever happen.
I don't know. I don't think like Nami and Zoro would. That's like kind of. If anything, it'd be a Robin and Zoro. That is like that's usually what people like. That's what I want. That's what I would be cool.
Okay.
That's just me.
So I'm just gravitating towards this Frieren and Himmel one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna same.
Yeah. Well,
Are we penciling that one in?
That is a good one, man. I wouldn't have anything against
because
that.
there's a lot of these where I'm just like, we can possibly do that. Because a part of me wanted to do Colonel Mustang and what was old girl's name?
Oh, Riza,
Yeah, from Full Metal
Hawkeye.
Alchemist. So I know a lot of people were like, Ed and Winry, but I'm just like, I don't know, man.
But Ed and Winry get together,
Yeah.
and so does Riza and Mustang.
Uh-huh.
But they've always been like, I don't know. It's hard because it's for that will they, won't they?
Yeah.
There was so much going on at the moment that I don't even know that there could
Yeah, I
have
wasn't
been a
even
time for them
tracking
to
that.
even
Yeah.
think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
good
not
point.
like that's
The
why I'm like,
plot
I
was
don't.
there's too much going, in the
There's so
plot.
much
for it to
going on. I'm
boil
like,
down to
romance,
situation.
get the fuck out of here.
We don't
Yeah.
have time for that right
My
now.
man's snapping that girl out of existence right now.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude. We're rewatching Full Metal Alchemist right now too, and I just watched that episode. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh gosh, I forgot.
She
about
was
that.
like, please stop. He's like, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Snapping so angrily. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking from the fans?
Because I'm looking at our what's it called again? Our titles.
Yeah.
Because some of these are like should belong in those other titles, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking Freerin and Himmel belong in another category more than this one?
I think Freerin and Himmel is actually, well, I don't know if they should be tragic. I think there's other couples out there that actually are tragic, because Freerin and Himmel didn't really. There's definitely something that could have been there.
The
maybe.
tragedy is just
It's tragedy.
the
He just died because
opportunity.
he's human.
Right.
Yeah, and she just lives. But I don't even think she ever thought in her mind romance with Himmel until afterwards. And then on this journey, she might have been realizing that she actually cared about him a lot more than she realized. And that part is like,
she's learning the importance of love because his life is finite. So therefore, because she didn't realize that before, so it is I don't know. It goes along the same lines of, Willie's pick for the will they won't they. It's like tragic that the possibility of love was there and it's taken away because,
Yeah,
so.
I think I've never seen Robotech, so I can't comment on that one.
So for my pick, Jackie, would you say that was more tragic or will they, won't they? Hey, we finally expressed how we feel. We want to move forward together, and one of them dies soon after. Tragic, right?
Well, you talked about that in the couple episodes ago about how that was like really tragic. Or no, that was a different anime I'm thinking of that you guys talked about. I'm totally mixing up the animes.
No, it's fine. I'm just because I'm cool with Freerin and Himmel here.
Yeah, I think Freerin and Himmel can go here for sure. I think yours might be a lot more tragic because there might be a will they won't they, but then they get together. And then
right.
that sucks. That's really tragic.
Okay.
I think that's more tragic.
Okay.
We'll move that but is it a will they won't they with Freerin and Himmel since we already know that they couldn't or they didn't right from the beginning? Before the story even goes any further that they never did. So it's not a will they won't they. It's a missed opportunity. It's like it never even had a chance because she didn't pick up on it until after he's dead. And that's in the very beginning of the show. So it's like, it can't be will they won't they because they won't. There's no can they. It's not even realized until he's dead. Yeah. So will they won't they has to have the possibility of them getting together. Or
so
it's not will they won't they.
This was another will they won't they that I found too that wasn't talked about. And let me know what you guys think.
Okay.
You guys remember Steins Gate?
Yeah.
So Kabe and Kurisu. And then with ReZero, they also talk about Subaru and Amelia. which
Okay.
I don't know if I totally agree with the ReZero one, but thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, all right. So if we're looking at this, are we measuring like the sexual or romantic tension that both partners are experiencing, and it's obvious and there throughout the whole story? Correct. That's how we're judging. Will they? Won't they? The romantic tension.
Yeah, that's how I would judge it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's got to be going through the whole story more, like you said, Jackie, where the plot doesn't overshadow it to the point where it's like it's not even it's a no
Yeah, it's not
you
even
know.
a thought.
Yeah.
You
So
know
we've
what?
got to have characters that are expressing that interest, that romantic interest, but they
Okaru,
just because I mean
Okaru and
Cowboy
Momo gotta
Bebop was
go
a
here.
pretty good pick. They're at each other's throat,
Yeah.
or not at each other's throat, but they throw so much shade at each other, but at the same time, you know that the interest is there. You know, so Cowboy Bebop's got that is pretty good. You know what I mean? They're both attracted to each other, but they don't want to admit it.
Yep.
And then they throw shade back and forth, and you're warning the whole time because it's very sexual tension between the two of them.
Yep.
You know, so that one works well. So I don't know.
I would say based on how we're describing this category, I don't see why are we trying so hard not to put Okaru and Momo in here.
Yeah, we got to put Okaru and Momo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change mine to Okaru and Momo
Valid.
just because they are the current embodiment of that struggle right now.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
agree.
gonna change mine.
Like
then.
I'm sitting here like, why are we trying so hard? And I, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm gonna put Yor and fucking Lloyd here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
it's an ongoing and you feel it. It's like it's a
Like we're just like I can see them over here, but like right now, this is what
Yeah.
I'm feeling. This is
Yeah,
where
yeah,
they
yeah.
go.
but it's prevalent throughout the whole story, and that's what's important. Like Jackie had mentioned, it's not just an undertone that never gets addressed. It's
Yeah.
present in the story the whole time. So that's why I think they belong on there too. It's like
So you're
feel it
and
the whole time.
Lloyd, Okaroon, and Momo.
But then
And who's
there's
your-
one oh go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, and then there's like the ones where easily they can fit on there, like when you're looking at Inuyasha and Kagome. But then you're like, that's iconic though. Like that is
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
couples
They're
where
an
like
icon cusp.
boom up here. So that one I can see like talking to ourselves like it's too easy to slot them in there.
Yeah.
What about?
And it also
Go ahead.
that with Inuyasha, it becomes a known thing before, like middle way through the story, that they love each other. You know what I mean? It's not a struggle all the way through. Will they? Won't they?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a-
and even with Inuyasha, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it.
She's like, no.
no, but isn't that the same with shit, Vegeta and Bulma too? It's like, yeah, it's a will they,
Well,
won't they temporarily, but
to
not
be
even
honest,
too
yeah, the
long.
Vegeta and
Boom.
Bulma were like, you had like a couple episodes, and then that was it.
yeah.
and they're a thing.
And then all of a sudden, bam,
Bam.
Bulma's with baby.
So it wasn't a
with
it wasn't a
child.
wonderment. It wasn't like a
I guess they got together.
So yeah,
Guess they
I
banged.
guess.
they
I
banged.
guess he really liked that pink shirt after all.
Yeah. He wasn't conflicted. He's like, I'm ready.
At all.
He's like, that's you know what? Vegeta low key likes to have a leash around his neck.
Bro, he's
That's
into that
what
shit.
that is.
He's into that shit. Yeah. Like, cause
He's so into that.
he's like a super power trip dude on the outside. Super like, I'm the dude up. But
Yeah.
like behind closed doors, he's like, fucking step on me. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Yeah.
do what you got to do, Boma. I'm here for it. Like, I want to feel weak,
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've got
So we
We've
got
hit-
Okaroon and Momo, Yor
Uh-huh.
and Lloyd, Spike.
Yor and
Did we
Lloyd,
go
yep.
Spike and Julia? Did we slap the table on Spike and Julia from Cowboy Bebop or not? Or are we thinking?
I would
someone
include
else?
but I already changed mine for Okaroon and Momo, so
I'm saying for this one could be the fan one because I know Jackie
Oh.
already has her Kaguya and Miyuki, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. So
So that'll be our 4 in this one.
Spike.
yeah,
Okay.
Spike.
sounds good.
That's the name of my robot vacuum.
The
Sweet.
Roomba.
Yeah, the Roomba.
You say go Spike and it go. You like Alexa tell Spike to go, and Alexa's just like. Boop.
No, I don't have an We don't
Oh.
have Alexas in this house, so we just press go on Spike and
You
we
don't
say
trust
go clean.
Alexa?
No.
Oh, she's listening. She
The
just
less
chimed in.
things that can listen, the better is the mindset in this household.
All right, so I mean that's a pretty solid list we got here for the will they won't they.
Yeah. You're right
Yeah.
though, Willie. Why were we trying so hard? We were
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
completing it so much. Like, why?
we were just. I could see them going here. I could see them going here. It was just like, why don't you just put them here? Like, because
Yep.
you guys are just like, oh, they wrote this part so well. This the best way to do it. It's the then put them there. So we put them there.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
We're making this harder than
Yeah,
it needs to be.
yeah,
We're thinking too
100%.
hard.
Yeah.
People are probably listening to this like, what the fuck are they doing? Just put them in the fucking bracket.
Yeah.
Just
Come on,
put them
man.
in the bracket.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Oh
so
my
funny.
god! You know what I forgot, guys?
What?
Jesus Christ, man! I had a whole background made for this shit too, like the.
Oh no!
I just
Show it.
looked
I
at
liked
it.
it.
I just looked at it. I'm just like,
Oh.
look at this best couple anime history. We're talking about it, and then it's just now it's.
Hey, it popped up. We get a chance to say this as the reveal of the actual 4.
And now we've got it solidified. Background.
Background.
The brainstorming's over. Here's the 4.
There you go. We got it.
We have thunk it all the way through now. We thunked it.
Okay, so the 4 for the will they won't they region of our bracket: Okarun and Momo from Dan to Dan, Yor and Lloyd from Spy Family, Spike and Julia from Cowboy Bebop, Kaguya and Miyuki from Love is War. Slap
Yeah.
the table. Generational
Smack.
generational couples there in this area. So this one should be hard.
Damn right.
What's the next region we're looking into, Jackie?
We can do. Well, I'll just go in order of how I have
Okay.
this written down. So we could do Battle Forge Duo next.
Battle Forge Duel. That is our power couples
Power couple, basically.
out here
Yeah.
just kicking ass as a couple.
So if
doing
you
all that.
rather name it Power Couple.
No, we
Now,
do
can we
Battle
have the
Forge.
same couple pop up in multiple sides of the bracket? Because that won't work if they end up winning that. Then they'll
No.
come down against themselves.
We
Oh,
will
yeah,
try to do all we can to not repeat couples on here. So
Yeah.
that'll be our thing. So we shall move forward. Expect a post to go out. We will be asking your opinions for your favorite action couples. And hopefully we'll get the same feedback because the Spike and Julia one was pretty solid. So thank you for that. I think that was
Yes.
Amanda that put that one in there. Either Amanda or Rob. Let me double check. Oh, that was Rob. Shout out to the homie, Rob. All right. So with that out the way, we'll return to our regular scheduled programming and wrap up episode 30 of Eat the Cake. Make sure I have the right video this time. I'm so doubting myself as a producer / host.
Producer, creator, every.
What is going on? See, that's what I'm talking about. And we are back. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time, listening, contributing, providing entries into the bracket. We really do love the interaction. And hopefully, of the 9 shows we did bring up for the spring, you guys check them out. Let us know what you think. Or like we said earlier, just give us what you guys are watching. And if it's not on our radar, we'll put it on there. But before we head out, Jackie, EJ, you got anything you want to say to the folks?
Nope. Thanks, guys, as always. Looks like this year is about to be another good year for anime. Looking forward to seeing how some of these animes play out, and we're looking forward to hearing from you guys, as Willie said, what we may or may not be missing on some of the things that we talked about.
Agreed. And I also would like to say, like, I know a lot of you people out there who are anime fans have your favorites and ones that you're probably like the go-to knowledgeable guru on. Hey, hit us up, man. If you're watching one of the ones we talk about, or if you know one, like let's say you're the go-to for, Dan to Dan, hit us up, man. Drop some of that knowledge. We'd love to share more because we're watching a lot of stuff. So you may be focused on a few things and catch stuff we don't, or have intel we don't. Hit us up because we'd be more than appreciative to get that out there. So and thanks again for watching. Like my other friend said, thanks. We appreciate it. You're the reason we do this. So have a good one.
I'm trying to see when the Crunchyroll Awards is going to stream, and we'll just probably like live stream it here to, possibly do some live reactions to the results. But we know polling is closed. I think it was April 14th. So hopefully you guys got your votes in and you're able to vote as many times as possible for Kaiju number 8 for the mental sake of our host here, EJ. He needs
please,
to see them win.
Drown my sorrow.
We need
Don't
to
make
see
me
a
drown
win.
my sorrows.
Let me see. When did the Crunchyroll Awards air?
That's a May 23rd. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
That works out.
Nice. Noise.
That's why I was saying, I don't know if you guys remember it. That's why I was saying we can do like a Sunday show
Following
if we want. Following.
Yeah.
Because that's a 4-day weekend. That's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, okay. That's I saw your when you said that. Okay, I didn't catch that it was the actual.
Yeah.
So the last weekend is it
awards.
Memorial Day weekend?
No, the second to last weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day's on the 25th.
Ooh. Okay.
Mimosa show?
Well, what we could do, Willie brought up the whole, watching it live
Yeah.
presenting it live. What if we watch some of the stuff live together, record it, and then cover it in the show?
I'm down. Either way.
You know what I mean? Like drop clips of us reactioning to. That's not a word.
I wouldn't even be upset with that
I
either.
just know if Lisa shows up again and they don't be having the energy for my girl Lisa.
We'll probably put my
I'm
pants.
flying to Japan.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be time to.
And I'm gonna talk to them in a very stern voice, which I'm sure they're all used to. Hey. They're like, bro, my dad talks to me like that. Bankai. Like this dude is just saying random shit. But yeah, thanks again for everybody for tuning in. Episode 30 of Eat the Cake Anime. Stay tuned to the follow us on social media. You see all the names down there in the bottom. Post will go out. Give us the names of your favorite action-packed couples that be out there kicking ass and taking names together. Until next time, please enjoy whatever anime you want to enjoy. No genre.
Wait, you want me to do the outro?
Oh, you got it? My girl.
Yeah, I got one. I got
my
it.
girl. Ooh, ooh.
I got it.
Let us.
Okay,
let us
ready?
have it.
All right. Spring is supposed to be about blooming flowers, but this season feels more like blooming chaos. Anyway, stay blooming, stay watching, and don't skip the OP. That's opening for you noobs.
I like the tone in which you read it.
Yeah.
That's what says it. That's what. Wow.
It's just below cringy. It's
yeah.
I'm gonna start adding my anime voice.
Yeah.
You probably it's your gateway into voice acting. You could be
There you go.
season
Hire
3
me.
of Rooster Fighter. So
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be the little chick.
Yeah, I'll show up as like a
Beep, beep.
all right, you guys enjoy what you want to enjoy. No genre shaming over here, right, Jackie? We love everybody.
That's right.
Y'all take care. Peace.